Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I'm here talking micro planners. So I recorded a video in my micro planner recently, actually this one, where I ended up losing my book bound expense tracker. Still haven't found it yet, you guys. Just keep hoping and praying that I can find my my expense tracker. I think I know where it is, but I need to dig through all of my stuff and just find it. I end up with like all of these random bags that collect paper, and it's in one of those bags. I'm like 95% sure. Anyway, I haven't pulled it out yet, but I was using this as an expense tracker, or like the 2025 planner as an expense tracker. And then because I couldn't find that book, I ended up pulling out my backup 2025 planner, and I put together this spread. And so it's really cute actually, and I kind of ended that video talking about whether I wanted to switch to the disc-bound and just kind of continuing to use it as a disc-bound expense tracker, and I think I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is actually whenever I find my planner, I'm going to take those pages and actually convert all of the pages that I've already done and punch them for disbound, so that way all of 2025 will be together. And I'm just going to continue using it. Now, I wanted to show you a little bit of like how this process works and a little bit of my planner collection here. Now, I'll just say caveat here that I have a ton of micro paper, like the happy notes. I don't have any in here, like, but you know, the Happy Planner releases Happy Notes. They don't have actually a micro planner. And so I have, over time, collected a bunch of Happy Planner notes. I've collected Dollar Tree micro planners, which is a very similar size. And so I've got a ton of paper. I just don't have a ton of planners. And so this is me just kind of talking about my planners for the micro. Let me just scoot everything to the side. It really starts with this book. Now, I have over time, really in the micro planner, I've made my own pages. One of the people that I follow, Stephanie, Planning with PEANUTTY, I'll link her YouTube channel in the description. She DIYs her own micro planner, and I love it. It's so cute. She does a great job of putting it together when she has her videos up. And so you can definitely follow her playlist for doing the DIY micro planner, but I'm lazy. I'm a lazy planner in the sense of I don't really like to DIY a ton. I like to take what I have and convert it. So like, you know, I don't mind, you know, getting a non-blank page and making it my own, like creating my own categories and doing things like that. But for me to just have a blank page and from scratch, put the boxes and everything else, I just can't do that. You know, I used to be a bullet journaler, and you know, that worked for a while, but it was actually me just making lists, which is fine, that's totally fine. But like to create my planner, that was just so difficult for me. Like, so for me, bullet journaling, I leaned more towards like the task management and task list part of it. And I never really got into like how to plan well in the bullet journal. And so that's why I moved to the Happy Planner. It was because the pages were already designed for me, you know, and I can put my own spin on it. So with that being said though, the thing that I did after like kind of following Stephanie for a while, watching a ton of micro planner videos, a lot of it was DIY. And so I went on the hunt to try to find a micro planner, and this was the one that I found. And so I ended up, I think in 2023, yeah, for sure in 2023, because I know I have pages in here from 2023. I think these pages, yeah. In 2023, I ended up like mid 2023 finding this book. Then I purchased it again for 2024, purchased it a third year for 2025. This is actually one of the, I guess at this point, like long running planners in my system. And I've used it for different purposes. But you know, the micro size is just super, super cute. Now what I do, and I won't do it on video just because I gotta tell you, I've done this before and I got some feedback like, why didn't I leave it book bound? I have left stuff book bound. I use journals. I use book bound journals all the time. And I did start off the first 3 months. I did leave it book bound as an expense tracker, but I just love disbound. All right, so I will link in the description a video where I converted this planner into a discbound. I think it's this planner, this actual like 2024 version. I bought 2 of them, and I converted it to discbound. But in this video, I'm just kind of talking to you about how to set up a micro planner, and I think really the heart of it is taking this planner and converting it to disbound. If you want to use the happy planner notes and things like that, you'll have to convert it to disbound. So definitely watch that video to see the conversion. This video is really just me talking about all the rest of the supplies that I've accumulated over time, and honestly it's just justification for me to move into the disbound. And that's kind of where we are, because I said I was going to stay in bookbound for the entire year for the expense tracker, but even doing just literally the single page, and I'm like, I just love it, I want to go to disbound. So anyway, this is my justification. So I do have this book. I will convert this to disbound just to have the pages on the discs, so that's definitely one. I have several years worth of pages. These are all the pages that over time, like here's January 2023. These are all the pages that I didn't use. Okay, so these are all either blank or like barely used pages. And so I've already pulled this off of the spine, and so I'll separate these pages and punch them for discs, and they get added on here. Now when I collect pages like this, and this occurs for my classic or my big size planners as well, for any size that I use, I basically don't worry about putting them in order, for the sake of like, for this planner I might go through and just kind of sort it very loosely, but honestly I don't do that. I just stick the pages all together. I mean, it's really, to me, not a big deal to redate, so I just stick them in here. So these pages will be pulled off the binding, punched, and put in there. So these are all from basically the same style of planner that I ended up finding. And so, oh, by the way, I will link in the description as well where I got this planner. All right, so I have found this planner on Amazon, so I will link that for you. It is an affiliate link, so if you purchase this planner and you just like this whole setup, definitely it does support my channel, so thank you so much for purchasing it. But you can definitely find this in other places, but like I did find it on Amazon as well. So these, again, like, need to be punched. Now, at some point in life, let me move this as well. At some point in life, I did use this planner, and it has, like I mentioned before, I've used it in several different iterations. It's been my catch-all at one point. That was way too small for me. So it's, of course, been my future log. I think that's the best purpose for it, is just to like have a place where I'm just like writing scratchy, messy notes that get crossed out, things like that. I've used it as an expense tracker. I've used it as a health log. I've used it in multiple different areas. And so, I really just like this planner. And so I like decorating this planner as well. So lots of the pages over time I have decorated. And so these are the same pages, but I've just decorated it. And these, you can see I haven't written in them. And so I did go through recently at some point, I would say in the past like month or two, and found these pages in my old planners, and they're already decorated, as you can see, and I just want to use them. And so these are from July 2023, as you can see. And so in order to use them, I guess really the best way of doing this is just to white out the dates, for me at least, is to white out the dates. This is a 4th of July theme, you can see. So I would white it out and just date it for the week of 4th of July, all right? And I would use, some of the stickers that I have in my stash just to redate it. That's what I would do, all right? It's like whiting out 7 times, here 6 times, and just plopping the new dates on there, right? And so I've got it decorated pretty much for the entire month of July, as you can see here. And then going here, this is a July-August split, and so obviously still decorated already. I can just, redate and use it for either July or August. And then here, another planner spread that I decorated and I haven't used. And then this last one is also decorated, not used, right? And then I must have, oh, okay, I was gonna say I must have used it, but no, it looks like it's completely empty. And so these pages, again, I did use at some point in the past, or at least I decorated them in the past. So yeah, I can definitely add them in here. And in terms of like organizing this, I'm deciding, since I'm starting like a fresh like planner, I'm going to put the beginning pages up front, like all of the pages that I've already written in essentially, and then all the pages that are already decorated but not used, I'm going to put kind of in the middle, and I'm going to actually use just a random cover to divide it. And then all of the pages that are not used at all, like they're just planner pages, like these pages, they're going to be just in random order. They're just going to be stacked back here, right? And I'm going to use another random cover to separate. And then if I need it, I can add another cover and just put in like notes pages. And again, I have a ton of notes. Okay, so all right, I showed you those two things. Let me get through the rest of this. And this part will be like much shorter, I think. So I've got this whole collection of like covers, right? So a lot of my supplies come from Happy Planner. So this is from Go Wild last year, 2024. So definitely have those covers. I also get a lot of my covers, discs, and pages, like notes pages from Dollar Tree, as I mentioned already. So this is from the Dollar Tree. And then these Dollar Tree, this is from Dollar Tree as well. I also DIY my own. This one, not my favorite, but I wanted to try to get a sophisticated florals micro. Not cute, but I did do that. I think I'm gonna go back and use the vellum. Actually, Happy Planner had a sophisticated florals like coloring sheet. I might print it out on acetate or vellum and try again. This one I use stickers. I feel like it's very lumpy because of that. And then one of the other sets that I made was back in the day in like 2019, 2020, my daughter was really into My Little Pony. So I made a set of 6 covers. These are all like just kind of like the silhouettes. Actually, they're like wallpaper, like desktop wallpapers. And so I printed those out. There's a set of 6. So this one is Applejack. I used that as a separator, right? And then the last one was Fluttershy. So I made those covers, right? So definitely I have a ton of covers that I can use. I also had like probably 30 other covers. I ended up selling them all off at some point. I did save my favorite cover, which is this one right here. I love this cover. In fact, I'm gonna use this, I think, for my expense tracker. I'm going to change that out in just a second. Here's another Dollar Tree cover. And then I made some DIY products for my planner, which I will use in this expense tracker. So this one is, it was actually a divider for a personal planner. And so it had the tabs already, so I did cut it down to 3x4 and I used my arc punch to punch it. And then also one of the things I found, and I thought this was a really good hack, was I found some adhesive envelopes. So these are an Amazon find. They're like just like, you know, in like business card holders, right? And they're adhesive on the back, but I took 2 of them and stuck them together. And for this one, between the 2 layers, I put a pin loop so I could have a pin loop. But this one, I just took the 2 envelopes, or like the 2 business card holders, and I stuck them together back to back. So it's not adhesive, it adhered to each other, and that was all. And then I just used, again, my arc punch to punch it. And then these were Dollar Tree dividers that I ended up, again, cutting down to size. And I love this hack, you know, like use your mini supplies to be able to cut things down. Like this is personal size. These are mini size planners. And I just cut it down to size because it had the tab already and I could just cut it down to size, right? I also had these dividers that I cut down to size as well. So they're from like an old planner that I had. And I just cut it down and put some labels on top of it. I don't use these regularly just because I don't separate like that. I also take the time to convert any old pages, like blank pages, things like that, and convert those into like just 3x4 size. So definitely do that as well. And then these are from Jane's Agenda. Again, this is from a mini, and I again just cut it down to size. All right, but really the majority of this is just taking the supplies that you have and converting it, right? So this I have to convert to DISCBOUND, but these were all things that I just found or hacked, cut it down, trimmed it down to the size that I needed for my planner. And then of course the covers came like this, or I made them to the size that I needed to, right? Like these are my hacks. I will link my playlist for some of these hacks too, so you can see that. And then there are lots of things that are like not 3x4 size, but are small enough to fit in here, and I stick them in here as well. So yeah, definitely, I love this size. I love this size, you guys. Last thing I'm going to show you is this is not a planner, but I love this cover right here. I do use or put my planner in here sometimes, like this, right? And it's a little bit like with the classic size discs, like this one. It's just a little bit too big, but yeah. I love this size. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got to run. I'm late for a meeting. But I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of all of my planner stuff. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, bye guys.